We are live. Welcome everyone to a brand new live where you get to ask me questions. I get to answer your questions, and all in all, it's just a really fun time. So we're gonna get straight into it because I'm sure that there's gonna be a lot of questions. And yeah, let's get it. So I'm gonna position this better. Boom. There we go. James, what's good? The website Jaime explained the millionaire is the user try vegan. Yeah, visit them to visit their page. A bio, drop down window for just brands. Yo. Jaime, I'm new to this whole SMMA. Where did you learn about it? And where can I learn about it? I've learned about it from a lot of trial and error, unfortunately. And just a lot of doing. Now the best way, where can I learn about it? You're in a pretty good spot right now. So I would say that probably limit a lot of your scope of knowledge that you consume. I think that's actually better than having a lot of like people you're listening to, because that just causes a lot of confusion. So it's a pretty good place. Where do I go live? Just schedule the one-on-one. Hope you're still doing that. What do you mean? If you applied, so if that's an application call, then I look forward to speaking with you. Is skincare and serums a good niche? I love it. Well, it is, but it's way too narrow. So I mean, going more broad, that would be cosmetics. It would be beauty. It could be health and wellness. Hey, just wanted to say I wasn't so sure what I wanted to do in life, and after listening to you, I really know what I can do. Thanks. Very happy to hear that. It's finally building a good service to offer. Yes, but not as a front-end offer. Your rules are very useful. I've tried follow your way, but in India it becomes hard to get these working. What's your advice for Indians? Well, the same advice that the same advice as American, British, Spanish, Germans, French. Go international, go worldwide. Starting an e-com agency, one of the beauties is the fact that you can go worldwide, so you don't have to limit yourself. How to bring strong results. So it comes down to having a very specific approach to results, right? Like you should have a clearly defined path to results and path to profit. A clear path to results, essentially. Who would create my clients' creatives if you're a paid advertising agency? Well, you can use a lot of the creatives that your client gives you, right? But having an understanding, like for example, with my mentorship, like I give my students a whole content creation and ad creation guide, meaning like you should actively be giving your clients tips and how-tos on creating really high converting video content, especially if you're doing e-commerce. Because if you don't, like, sure, you can use the content that they currently have, and that might be enough sometimes, but why not actually take it to a whole new level? Hola, Sensei. Nice 2 lives today. Looking forward to it. Man, one of my mentees in here. Go and hear me talk, and because I've got my mentee call in 53 minutes. So I look forward to it. That's why this live is probably not going to be a very long one. It's probably going to be a 45-minute one or something like that. Should your agency only offer paid ads services or more than one in marketing, web development, social media management? Thank you. So here's what I would recommend, right? At first, if you're running an e-com agency, at first you should have a flagship service, right? So you should get clients enrolled for a flagship service, whether it's paid ads or email marketing, SMS marketing, whatever it is, right? Those are really the 2 categories that I recommend. Now, once you've got them through the door, then you can start upselling them to other services, given a few criteria, right? Like once you're getting them good results, once you're past break-even ROAS, once there's been maybe 3-4 months have passed, right? So then you can start gaining full control of the sales funnel, of the e-com funnel, right? Which is not only gonna obviously make you earn more, but it's going to allow you to get even better results for clients, because clients, number one, clients love when one team just handles everything, because complexity is so reduced, right? And also, since you don't have to communicate with the web dev team or the email marketing team, right? Then it's a really good option, right? Because there's no friction. Now, you don't do it in a way that it increases complexity, right? So the services that you actually upsell are services that maybe the person that does your Facebook ads can also do, right? Or maybe that you can do yourself at FOS, right? So you don't increase complexity by hiring another team member unless it becomes a really important chunk of your business. Like, for example, for us, for email marketing, it became such a core chunk of our business, and we're making so much money with it, and we're making our clients so much money with it as well, that we had to hire a person that would that was just focused on that email marketing component. How much does your mentorship cost? I believe you booked in a call, David, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we'll just talk about it then. Let me take a bit of a sip of water. Instagram was good. Yo, why is my the Facebook community so quiet? Come on, guys. Let's get a few questions. Is eco-friendly products a good niche? Yeah, it's not a bad one. I would say, yeah, eco-friendly, eco-conscious. All right. Do you recommend learning Facebook ads when first starting out, or using Upwork from the get-go? Well, number one, it's not like it's neither, right? So like, you should be actively getting good and learning Facebook ads, right? But that should not, like, there's never going to be a point at which you say, okay, I know about Facebook ads, and then now I'm going to offer the service. Number one, you shouldn't be doing the service. Number two, becoming a Facebook ads expert is going to take you a few years, right? So no, and also Upwork is not it's not a great place to look for candidates. It is an option, but it's there should be you should be tapping into a lot more options there. Okay. Starting my agency, what are the top 3 things I need to focus on to be able to start it in 2 weeks? What's your irresistible offer? What's your specific sub niche? And what is your hybrid e-com service? If I'm a new agency, how would I persuade my prospects without any results or testimonials? You have a really, really specific process to results, and you show up in a very professional manner with a clearly defined sub niche, right? So that you are an authority in that specific sub niche, and you gain an advantage over other broad e-com agencies that are too big, too bloated to be agile and specify on one specific sub niche. I'm a media buyer. I want to work with agency owners. Advice. I mean, there's no shortage of job posts. So I would say, like, make sure that, you look for those job posts and you apply. Like, there's really no shortage. Apart from that, make sure that you go the extra mile, because there's also no shortage of Facebook ads experts. So, Vedilooms, or you actually showcasing your expertise, right? A lot of people are faking testimonials and all this stuff, and I see right through that. I'm not saying that would be you, right? But a lot of agency owners, I feel like they're very aware of that. So keep that in mind. If not Upwork, then what? Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Facebook DMs. I need your mentorship, man. Respond to your DM. Yep, I keep getting asked questions about his mentorship. Book a call, guys. Yeah. Where do I fill in the application for mentorship? Just go ahead and DM me, and I'll get back to you. If I was to switch from local biz to e-com, do you think it's easier or simpler to get clients? Look, like here's the thing, right? And I've done quite a few videos on this. The methods that actually work nowadays, which are the profile funnels, right? The profile funnels, for example, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, right? They work better for ecom simply because these prospects, the nature of their business is online, right? So these prospects are hanging out on social media more than local biz owners who are running around with clients, taking patient calls, like showing houses and all this stuff, right? So for one, yes. Now the second thing is you have to understand that for an ecom brand, right? Online advertising is absolutely vital. Like it is not this could be cool. It is mandatory. Like that is how they get eyeballs. Like they cannot go without online advertising, right? So this is not you don't even have to sell them on the service. Like this is a must for them. It's how they acquire clients, it's customers. It's how they can scale a business predictably. Until an ecom brand can spend to acquire customers, they don't have a business, right? Because if you cannot spend $1 to get 3, 4, 5 back, you don't have a business that you can scale, right? If they're getting customers right now, because a lot of ecom brands do this, right? They're just getting customers from referrals and organic content and all that stuff. Cool, right? That's all good. I'm not saying ditch that, but if they cannot spend money to acquire customers, they don't have a business. Okay. So those are a few things. The other thing is understanding that, like, what I've seen as well, ecom owners, most of their team is online, right? And so they're completely used to having VAs. They're completely used to having people work remotely, right? They're already used to that nature of business. Whereas for a lot of local business owners, they need that human element. They need that human touch because they're not quite used to doing business online, right? And it seems kind of crazy, but it's just, if all your life you were, I don't know, used to meeting friends at school, right? And now you have to make friends over Zoom, like it's happening a lot, right? Like that's going to be a massive shift in like mindset, right? But let's just say, hopefully not, right? But let's just say everything switches online for the next 20 years, and literally the next generation is literally forced, right, to make friends over Zoom. That's going to be the default state. It's going to be so easy for them, and they're going to be quite awkward when it comes to the physical element, right? So understand that, like, ecom founders are completely used to doing business online, and they have less resistance to that. So there's no geographical barriers in that sense. Can I start an agency as a side hustle because I'm a student? Yeah, you can start as a side hustle at first, but I think it does pay a lot of dividends. Wait, can I? Oh wow, that's cool. I didn't know this, guys. Okay, let me hide you. Can I start? Yeah. So yes, but it makes a lot of sense to just go ahead and go ahead and actually make it a real business. Like, I just don't really believe in the idea of side hustles. Like, why would you do that? Like you're going to spend the time anyways. So why not go full into it, lean into it, right? And then have this thing take care of you for the next 10, 20, 35 years, right? Here's the thing. The way I think about work is, what can I do so that if I invest time, which I'm going to invest, you're going to invest time anyways, right? How can I make it so that time that I'm investing right now has true longevity, right? That's why I hate gimmicks. I hate businesses that are here today, gone tomorrow, right? Because sure, you could cash out, make a bit of money, right? But like, number one, that's not going to give you transferable skills that you can apply later down in your life. But also number two, like, you're going to spend the time anyways. So go ahead and spend it on something that can actually sustain you for the rest of your life. Okay, so there's a good question. I really feel like it's hard to show agents the value in Facebook ads, but if I switch to ecom, results are hard to get. Or am I just overthinking this, dude? They're not harder to get. Like, I don't know. I don't know who's actually come up with this idea. Now, is it harder to get someone to take out their card and pay for something? Sure, not always, right? Because sometimes it is harder to get a house viewing, as I'm sure you know this, Mohammed. But absolutely not, right? Like, when it comes to the service delivery, there's so many things that are actually way easier than local business, right? When it comes to local businesses, you have to have, not only do you have to have the Facebook ads knowledge, right? But you have to have a system, a really good system. Okay, if you want this to really work, a really good system of having the clients see the leads that you're bringing them, having the clients call the leads, having the clients follow up with the leads, right? Not only that, but you're relying on the client for your success. Okay, so if maybe the service delivery is easier, it's harder, right? Which is not, by the way. But the fact that you're literally relying on your client to be successful, right? I just cannot. I cannot do that. I could never ever do that. I want to die on my own sword, right? If I fail, it's because of me. If I succeed, it's because of me, right? But it's not because of my real estate agent who cannot close for his life, right? So I don't want there to be any question as to the value of my service, right? Whereas, look, a real estate agent could say, oh, all these leads that you're bringing me, Mohammed, they're just not qualified. But you know in your heart that they are, because this has happened to me, right? The leads are highly qualified. The leads you've spent, you've hit all the KPIs, you've hit the cost per acquisition perfectly, right? You've done a perfect work, but they just cannot close them, right? Now, if you're having that conversation and they're telling you your leads are weak, right? Sure, you can argue all you want, but who's going to win that argument? The person who's paying you money, right? However, if you can show them clear numbers and say, hey, I spent this much for you, I made you this much, there's no question, right? There's absolutely no debate as to, like, numbers don't lie. So look, the people that think, and here's the thing, like, don't get into ecom because you think it's going to be easier. It is, right? But that's not that's not the benefit and the bliss and the mindset to get into it for. But is it harder? Absolutely not. Like, I think that misconception, like, cool, less people that get into ecom, like, sure, great, but it's just a very it's not the right mindset. It's not the right idea and conception as well. And I get rallied up about this because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there thrown around by people who haven't actually thrown around by people who haven't actually walked the talk in the ecom space, right? So when you've got like, I mean, this is my hub. Like, we build ecom brands here, and I think, I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying like I'm right, they're wrong. Like, I don't want to get into that, but like, I would say, like, as a piece of advice, I would say, like, listen to the people that are actually running a successful ecom agency, not info products, not local business, not, because the simple that I wouldn't go to, like, a dentist for fitness advice, right? Like, I just wouldn't do that, right? Now, could you say, well, you're biased because you're doing ecom? Sure, but, like, I've done local business. Like, I've done every single modality of running an agency. So, like, yeah. I don't know why. So Facebook just crashed on me for whatever reason. Don't really know why. I don't really know why, but we're still live on YouTube, right? Okay. Well, guys, if I don't get to your question, like, don't just double type it, because then yeah, I'm gonna get to them. Like, I can see them on my screen, so just don't worry. Wow. Okay. Used to create e-com clients websites. What do you use to create e-com clients websites? So we're big fans of Shopify. I'm not gonna lie. We've also done WooCommerce. There's pros and cons to WooCommerce, and there's pros and cons to Shopify. WooCommerce has way better. It's much easier to edit. It's much easier to design than Shopify. So aesthetically, it looks better. The massive benefit of Shopify, and this is a benefit that it's really hard to compete against, is the fact that they have the Shopify App Store. You can, there's amazing apps that you can integrate. So yeah, ideally Shopify, but we've used WooCommerce in the past. We've also integrated lead pages with Shopify, which has been pretty cool. Pretty cool to learn. Building like a kind of like a funnel within Shopify. That's pretty cool. And then you just integrate a buy now button that links straight to Shopify, and it actually links straight to the checkout page on Shopify. Pretty cool stuff. Do you work with to get results for clients during test phase? Okay. What minimum budget do you usually work with to get results for clients during during testing phase? So, I would have to know what you consider the testing phase. For us, we have a 7-day, a 30-day, and a 90-day period. Like, that's how we look at things, right? And they each have like different specific names. But in the first 7 days, like, here's the thing: when a client gives me a monthly ad spend, I usually like look at it 3 90-day spend, right? So if they give me like 5K per month, I'll say, okay, cool, we've got like 15K, but I want this really like 5, 5, and 5, right? So the minimum budget, like with some clients, we've started with like $1,500 per month, and now we're spending like 50K per month, right? So it really depends. I don't think there's like a right, wrong answer. I think that in the first few months, you want to spend, in the first month, especially in the first few days, you want to spend as little as possible because you're testing. So you don't want to experiment with a high budget. Once you have a winning formula, then you can scale pretty fast. Once you're spending $1 and getting like, let's just say the break-even ROAS is at 3.2x, right? Once you're spending $1 and you're getting like 3.5x, $3.5 back, or $4 back, or $5 back, then there's really no ceiling. Where do I learn? Facebook ads run dropshipping ads with some success, but how should I learn how to run ads for ecom? Honestly, the best ways to get your hands dirty by having a team member by your side, and really just really diving deep with this person. Okay. How much money do you spend on ads for reaching new clients? I've run Facebook ads for my agency in the past. I don't anymore, because my automated sales funnel combined with my organic client attraction method yields meetings at a way better cost. And my students can attest to this as well. So, like, sure, could I spend like $500 on a sales call? It would make sense financially. Do I want to, knowing that I can get 1/100th of the price with my automated sales funnel? Not really. Do I need to create a contract for my contractor because they're handling clients' sensitive information? Yes, absolutely. There should be an element of, there should be the scope of work, right? There should be a confidentiality agreement, and yeah, maybe so an NDA, scope of work, and then basically terms, a few terms. Abdul, yes, this will be saved. How do you think the iOS 14.5 update will affect the Facebook ad results? I made a video on this in my channel, so yeah, just go ahead and watch that. Do you use Clickfunnels for e-commerce? I've used it once, and here's the thing: like I've got a love and hate relationship with Clickfunnels, to be honest. I think the software could be much better. Like I think it's a bit scrappy. And then you use lead pages. Look, it's hard for me to admit this, but especially for e-commerce, right? I'm not, maybe info products is a bit different, but lead pages just run circles around Clickfunnels. So yeah, I would tell Russell Brunson to fix the damn interface and the UI. It sucks. It's disgusting. Subrata says, I just booked a meeting with you on 13th of May. So excited. Osman, let's see if you're a good fit for the mentorship. How can I get results? By enrolling in mentorship and giving no after your guidance. How can I get a result? What do you mean? Oh, okay. Really good question. How long did it take you to stop being anxious on client calls? Honestly, I've done a lot of calls. After a lot of calls, I've done a lot of calls at this point. That's why you need to get volume, So I would say, I think like there's a sweet spot after like the 20th, I would say. But then again, it depends on the person, on the person, I've sent around 30 emails to ecom owners and got no response. Do I need to send more? Well, number one, I don't think that's enough data. Number two, though, sometimes, first of all, what's your email copy? What's your offer? What's, how does it look like? Like, is there like a profile funnel attached to it? Like, the answer is not always output. Like, I find it funny when people focus on the output. The output is really important once you have a winning formula, because then you can scale that, But yeah, it's not about output. It's not always about output. Like if something doesn't work at a small scale, it's gonna absolutely break at a big scale. Is May the last month you're doing the course? Honestly, it might be that. At least me personally, when people. And I might actually just disclose it to keep it keep it very tight knit, because that's the thing about my mentorship and what it stands for. It's a tight knit group of winning individuals that have a very, very clearly defined path that strays away from all the bullshit and all the things that are being taught in the SMA space. So that's kind of like my value offering, and I'm staying true to it. Now, would it make more sense maybe financially to just have a course on a landing page that anyone could buy? Maybe. Definitely would involve less of my time vetting these people, but sometimes the great things are not as scalable, or sometimes you gotta do the unscalable, and I really believe that. Can you tell us how to get performance-driven incentives, which I do talk about a lot? How do you get to know how much your company made with the help of your service? Well, it's very clear on the Facebook Ads Manager, on the Google Ads dashboard. Maybe for example, one of the things that I do for my students is I give them my own reporting dashboard. So it's very clear. All these platforms report. Google Analytics gives you a lot of data. Dropped you a DM yesterday. Okay, just go ahead and DM me again. Short or longer follow-up emails? Honestly, it's not so much about, again, it's not so much about the length. It's about conveying the message. But if I had to pick, usually short are better. Look, here's the thing. A lot of these people that think like, oh, just because I have a really good email, my email copywriting is great, people are going to read this. Not so much. Honestly, I've tried a bunch of different strategies. Oops. I probably should hide this. Where is this? Okay. I've tried a bunch of different strategies, different methods, and I've come to realize that straight to the point, short, sweet, with an amazing offer in that email is way better. Jaime, how long is your onboarding process? It's pretty simple. It's quick. It's very effective. I would say it takes around maybe 30 minutes to do. It has a video component, but it also has a workbook component. So yes, that's that. Cold calls better than emailing or DMs for getting clients? No, I wouldn't. I haven't done one cold call in my life. For ecom, absolutely not. Just by the nature of the business. I've applied for the mentorship. I hope you accept it. Cool. All right. Hey, my brother's a very bright student, but he's unsure about his career. He's interested in engineering and tech and stuff. So you can suggest any kind of careers that can suit him. I would ask him like how sure is he about engineering and tech, and how much conditioning does he have to do those things. And then I would say like when he was really young, a kid, what did he like and doing, and what did he gravitate towards? I'm not sure where you're from, but there's a lot of conditioning from family, from society to do engineering, be a doctor, whatever it is. So I would say like, I'm not saying, some people that have a love for engineering. However, that's the minority. And I'm telling you, because I've studied I did 1 year of engineering. Everyone absolutely hated the degree. The people that said they liked it, they were heavily conditioned by their parents. And I went to, one of the best regarded universities. So again, I'm not saying I'm sure there's people out there who absolutely love engineering. I also didn't meet any of my professors who were engineers happy with their life. To be honest, they all seem to be miserable. So that's what I would say. Like, what I would do is a lot of reflection. I don't think it's like about like picking a career at random. It's like I would say that it pays a lot of dividends to just sit down, really go in deep, really go inside, and ask yourself, what do I truly want? So, brother, one time you ask the question one time, and then I get to it. But the question is, how do you divide your money spending? My business comes first. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, okay, let me. I'm gonna pause you. Time out. Let's go. How do you get more clients and awareness without outreach over time? How do you get more clients and awareness without outreach over time? You need to basically post specific niche content on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, so that you cultivate those interactions of the people that you're reaching out to, and you build that long tail effect. How much your SMMA course cost? I don't have a course. It's a mentorship. And yeah, if you're interested, you just got to DM me, and then I talk about it more in depth. When starting a business in t-shirts, what should be the most basic marketing I should do with a really tight budget? Honestly, the best marketing is like making sure that before you create one tee, you've already sold a few t-shirts. Because if you don't know if there's demand for your product, do not create one single t-shirt. You're going to waste a bunch of money. So get a few sales in, validate the product, and then create a t-shirt. Actually, when I started my clothing brand, a lot of people don't know this, but when I started my clothing brand, I didn't create I created a lookbook. I gave it to friends and family and acquaintances, just anyone that I could hand over my lookbook. Basically, a lookbook, if you guys don't know what it is like kind of like drop my. It's a basically like I don't know, like a workbook, like a I don't know, like a little book, right? A little booklet with all the designs, and I basically would give it to them, right? I would sit in front, or maybe like a few, a bit far from them, and I would see the reaction, and then I would ask them like, "Hey, do you want something? I'll give you a friend's discount." And then I got a few sales that way, and then only then did I start creating one product. So, and that's one of the approaches that I use for. Okay, another person that goes on timeout. Oh shit! No, I don't want to show you. I want to put you on timeout. Yeah, I'm answering Instagram, but so my point is that's one of the mindsets that I've carried across pretty much like every business that I've started so far is get validation from the market before you even spend $1. Especially that applies especially for e-commerce. Do you still do prospecting? Yes. We're in the trenches every single day. Guys, I'm going to jump off in a few minutes. Does location matter in running an SMMA? Absolutely not. Jaime, could you please tell me how to start a social media marketing agency? I'm actually on Thursday. I'm putting out a massive video, probably an hour and a half video on how to start one in 2021. Well, just on Thursday, I've got that I've got that video coming out. Thank you for the teacher design. So you mean make sure the reaction is better at first before spending? Yeah, like do not create a product that people don't want. That's the main thing here. Like if people haven't told you like, hey, I want that product, or you haven't done the market research to truly know if people actually want your product, do not spend any money doing that product, right? I don't care how much you like your design. I don't care how much your mom thinks or your dad thinks your design is cool. The market doesn't really give a shit. So make sure that people actually want your product before ever spending time, energy, and money going forward with the idea. Hey bro, it's me, Talal. Hope you're doing well. What's up, man? All right, guys, that is that. And by the way, I even use that concept. I even use that concept for YouTube videos. Like I'll say, like, "Hey guys, do you want to see this?" And people will tell me, like, "Yeah, I want to see that." No, I don't want to see that. Or, "Hey guys, would you want to see a podcast?" Nope, I don't give a shit about your podcast. Or, "Yeah, I would actually listen to your podcast." And if the response is good, then I'll create it. If it's not, then I don't. And yeah, it's just the market. The market should tell you what they actually want. All right, guys, that is that for this live. We have 2 final minutes. Ask away. All right. How old are you now exactly? So how old are you exactly, and when did you start your SMMA? Could you give us a basic timeline? Thank you so much from Budding Madrileño. For those of you who don't know what that is, someone from Madrid, like me. I was born in Madrid. Anyways, how old was I? I was, I believe I was 19, 18 going into 19, I believe. So it's been, and right now I'm 22, so it's been like, it's been 3 years, 3 years plus, close to 4. Boom. Bye. All right. So much for the next weeks because of exams. I'm so motivated though because I'm trying to avoid them. What should I do? Just get them done. Exams is just one of those things like school, unless it's like college where you have a decision where you could actually drop out. School is just one of those things that you just need to get over and done with, and just move on. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in. And that is that for this live. Now, tomorrow we've got a very, very exciting live. I will be going live. I will be doing a live training on my YouTube and my Facebook community. So if you haven't joined my Facebook community, go ahead and check it out. It's a first link, one of the first one, not the first link, one of the links in the description. And apart from that, it's going to be incredible live training. I am very much looking forward to it. I need to keep it under an hour because I've got a call straight after. But I think it's going to be tough because there's a lot of information. It's basically how to sign your first ecom client in less than 21 days. Pretty cool stuff. Very actionable strategies. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. And apart from that, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.